Under a hot Texas sun and pastures of green, there's a crew of critters just like you and me. We've all got scars, but we found our place. A little love and mud and a whole lot of grace. We show the good, the bad, and the ugly too. The highs, the lows, it's all part of the view. So laugh, love, and maybe cry sometimes with a gang of misfits who always shine. So come on in, kick off your shoes. Oh, God! It's more than a ranch, it's a family crew. And these rescues, they might just rescue you. Welcome to I'm a Survivor. You'll see what second chances are meant to be. We're all survivors of something, it's true. And there's room in this family for all of you. We're all survivors of something, you see. So pull up a seat with our rescue family.
Hey, y'all. I'm not alone.
I'm here.
I'm not alone.
I'm here. Don't say a word.
He had to run.
Don't say a word. Like, don't say a word. Let's see if they notice. I'm just reading the comments. Let's see if anyone notices anything different about me before you say anything. Well, happy Father's Day to all of the dads and the mom. Oh! Scoot over a little bit, baby.
First is don't say a word. Now scoot over.
Well, did you see what I saw? Oh, my golly gee. I lost it. I lost it. I lost it.
I don't know. I wasn't reading.
Well, I was. And if I didn't read the first 100 comments or so about, that's a pretty dress, Jamie. You got some nice sun, Jamie. I love them pearls, Jamie. And finally, after I waited all this time to see if anyone noticed my new shirt that I got for Father's Day, finally someone said, let's wear a collar.
It looks really nice on you.
Thank you. Yes, I got me a Father's Day shirt, everybody. Thank you for the compliment. Well, it's obvious who people keep looking. I'm just going to go back to my Sonic float. Hi, guys. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, y'all.
Now you can talk.
Happy Sunday.
I got my spill in. I got my spill in. I'm good now.
It's been a day, and it isn't over at all. Those are Texas flags in the state of Texas. You're just missing a Longhorn or two on there, and that would have been like the ultimate shirt.
Okay. If it's blurry, it's freezing and blurry. It's spinning.
I know why. Because Ellie's downloading stuff on your Xbox.
So let me go see.
I got it. I'm gonna see. This is how I solve it. Nobody likes it the way I solve it, though. Does that fix anything?
Did you just unplug the whole thing?
Yeah. And now, are both boys still here?
They are. No, Ellie has already left.
All right, so we're down to one Snapchat.
Okay. So everybody just relax. And what we're going to do is have Jamie go to her phone and check and see exactly
Connect.
Live go down?
Okay.
So here's what I'm looking at. Look over right over here. See that right there?
That is not our internet.
Okay. Okay. Now, before
Pause. All right. So that's correct.
I think people are saying that we're back now.
Okay. We're okay. It was that.
Okay, just relax, friends. We'll figure it all out. And in case we ever do have an issue and we just lose you, then we'll just have to do the best we can. So I hope that we're back. I hope we're not as blurry or there's no lag. Anyway, happy Father's Day. I hope that everyone had a wonderful day with your children or with your dad. For those of you who have lost a dad, and I've read a lot of comments this morning on a number of people who this is their first year without their dad. And that breaks my heart for you all. Could I read a beautiful email from a lady?
Sure.
This lady messaged me, and she was trying to remind me not to let myself get down. And I want to share this with you all because it was beautiful. Now, the problem is I've got a lot of other emails. And I got to try to kind of put through here what's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. Just helping you out. That's all.
Golly, I got to find it. You can talk, baby.
I'm just hanging out. I feel like I hung out with everybody already once a day. I cooked lunch. I fixed lunch. We do have a little bit of leftovers that I anticipate that Lester and Lex will probably eat after this live. We'll probably reheat some of it. So I have this really weird thing that I don't like lingering dishes or lingering mess. And on the Longhorn games days where the kids come over, like it is get done eating and hurry up and do, because Lester usually has to bring Lex back to his mama's house. Now it's summertime, so he doesn't have school tomorrow, obviously, but we immediately like started doing the outside stuff. And then when we came inside, Lester's like, just leave those on the pots because I'm going to heat them up and I'm going to eat them later. So I'm like, cleaning around the stuff. And now it's like, it's here and I don't want to move it to Tupperware, or I call all temporary containers Tupperware. I don't want to move it to leftover containers because he's going to eat it. And then I'll have to also either throw away the leftover container or it's just a conundrum. And it's my ADD, ADHD or OCD or I don't know, all of the letters. But basically, I'm sitting here and I keep looking up over the computer. And I'm like, I wish I would have cleaned that. Why? I don't know. I can't think about anything else.
Jamie, you have to focus. You can't get fixated on things. Oh, a really sweet lady sent me a message. She'd been watching a few videos this week. Actually, she doesn't miss a video. And Jamie and I were talking about it, and I'll let Jamie kind of tell you a lot of the gist of it. But the lady talked about the world is just mean. And the norm of the world right now, and I don't know if this is the entire world, but the norm here in our country is just mean. It's just, and it's becoming the norm. And that's really, really scary to a lot of people because that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's sad when the norm is hate and when the norm is mean and the norm is anger. and
rage and disarray, and how people find joy in showing their disdain and dissatisfaction, and I don't know, it's a crazy time to be alive, because I don't feel like many people can find contentment or can find happiness or joy or peace in things. That there is a culture right now, and this is what I was, Lester and I, when he read me this email and I started to really think about it, there is a culture around invoking those feelings in people. And it is like, it's disheartening to think about, because there is like clout that younger kids are like earn or long for, that come from disruption and disarray, and ways to be able to make scenes, and then the social clout that comes from capturing that and showing it. And like, when you think about things that are going on in our world today, you think about the way that people feel in general. Some of us who literally get anxious about those things are like recluses. Like, I told Lester that the news that he watches right now, whether it's about our country or other things in the world, actually makes me be a hermit. It gives me anxiety. It gives me horrible emotions to be able to think through, and it makes me not want to leave and not want to leave home and not want to deal with it. Because what if I run into something like that? And like, that is not something that settles with me. I don't relate to it. I don't understand how people can find so much negative in everything. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that over.
No. So once this sweet lady talked about the norm and what she sees all around her, she just wanted to remind us of something that she said is important to her and helps break that cycle of hate and anger. I just kind of paraphrase, but sweet lady's a 70-year-old widow. Right now, she's dealing with lung cancer, so she's going to chemotherapy. She goes, it's hard losing her hair by the handfuls. Every time she goes to brush her hair, she goes, soon I'm going to be as bald as you, Lester. She puts an LOL right there. But any woman who has lived a lifetime with your beautiful hair, and when you go to comb it or to brush it and to see that you're losing it by the handfuls, no matter what age you are, ladies, that has to be so hard. She goes, not only that, she's also a kidney transplant person. Her transplant was done in 1994, which seems so long ago. Anyway, this kidney transplant, when they did this, they told her that she's going to be living on borrowed time. And she goes, how crazy is it that that's been, 31 years ago? 31 years that she's been living on what they told her was just borrowed time. Anyway, she's said that she's writing a little bit to tell me about some of the things in her life. One of the most heartbreaking things is that she lost her son in 2006. Now, her son was an adult. He was 24, but he was a new electrician. And she says, please tell Jamie to talk to Xander and make sure he checks. And he was electrocuted.
Yeah.
And he died from electrocution while on the job. She said, and then she lost her husband in 2023 after 44 years of being together. And so she only goes to say this, not so that we feel sorry for her. She does not want anyone's pity, but she says that she needs this channel, which makes me get very emotional. She needs this channel of love and support because it's the only love and support that she gets in life. She says there's nobody else. There's nobody else. And she said that it's very hard for her to be going through all that she's going through without a support system. And so she has a health journey she's on. She's trying to figure out where to go after losing a partner of 44 years. Her only son lost on the job. And so bless her, but also bless so many of you.
Yes.
because I know she's not the only one out there struggling. She's one who wrote and told her story. But I know that every single one of you have your own stories of hurt and pain and suffering and struggle. And so we're going to continue to strive to keep the channel a happy place, guys. And whatever Jamie sees on the news or overhears on the social media, I do believe that those sites hope to continue to instill fear, lots of misinformation, and just don't let it consume you. Just try to find you a happy place. And if it's not here, then that's fine, but find it somewhere. But if you sit around and you allow yourself to just absorb all of the things that you allow the mainstream media to fill into your head, then you're going to get yourself even sicker. You're not going to be able to, at some point, it's going to take a toll. And already the hate and the anger and the mean, it's kind of overflowing. And we're just trying so hard to keep the page happy. So you guys, do your part and find your happy places. And thank you to this lady and to so many others who continue to join us and hang out with us and try to find a happy place here. And you're all welcome here. You're survivors and you're warriors. And thank you, not only to this sweet lady, but to so many of you as well. So I'll stop. It was a wonderful Father's Day. I did get a chance to spend time with both of my sons. Ellie drove up, and of course, we've had Lex all week. We did our Longhorn games. Today was the pool edition, which is not really a pool, but it's our pool. It's our big old beautiful pond. And we had some fun, y'all. We had some fun in our pond. We played all kinds of water sport type games. And I will not tell you here who the winner of the day was. I'm going to either make you watch or find the cliff notes in the videos that I'll post later, probably tomorrow, so as I can continue to spend time with the boys today. But we had a wonderful day. It was great. Good food, good times. Everybody's healthy and well. I even took the boys over to the JL and we did our chores together. I think LE went live on his channel. He went live on his Facebook for a few minutes and on his YouTube for a few minutes, which was wonderful and really neat. Lex is just falling head over heels in love with those horses, which is a shocker because I never thought Lex to be a horse person.
I didn't either.
I had no idea Lex was a horse person.
Who's his favorite?
Well, who do you think is his favorite? Gemma, who's everybody's favorite.
She's easy to love. She's
very easy to love. And Gemma loves him too. Gemma loves him. But no, he will actually, even though Lex walks up to Roman and Roman stands, this much taller than Lex, and Lex and Ellie are both looking up at him. And it's funny because Lex has spent all week over there and Lex is allowing Roman to, muzzle him.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that means, why are you so nervous for? I'm not going to bite you.
That's a very sensitive place of my arm.
And Roman will sit there and muzzle. You can stop now. Now you like it, don't you? Now,
no, I don't.
Save it for later.
I was just totally
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, or whatever. Father, Daddy.
No.
Anyway, Lex will allow these horses to muzzle him, and I'm like, "Are you nuts?" Because this Roman could put his head in his mouth, but Roman has no desire to do that. Roman just wants to. Is it nuzzle or muzzle?
Muzzle.
Well, okay. Some people are saying it's nuzzle.
It's his muzzle that he's using to nuzzle.
Wait, it's his muzzle that he's using to nuzzle. Well, you just threw me for a loop. Thanks a lot, everybody. But let's keep it Christian here. It's okay. We make mistakes. I had no idea, but thank you. So Lex is allowing him to nuzzle all over him. And Lex is just thinking it's like the most safest and the most funniest thing ever. And I'm thinking, whoa. Kid's a lot braver than I would have been, just showing up to see horses one day. I'm not letting big old horses just put their lips and it's just the gums. You're just putting their gums all over them. But no, Lex is just really good with the horses, a lot better than what I thought he would be. I said, son, you have to learn how to braid hair. And he goes, how about I just do ponytails? And I'm like, that's fine.
Anything that you can do to play, I say play with them, but the more that you groom and handle and touch, the more that you get to know a horse. Like, I still don't know anything about horses, but I sure do love grooming them. No, I love that Lex has found a connection there, because, there's a lot of, especially boys, who I think get really wrapped up in video games and sports and other things like that. And that it is, in my experience, not very common to find boys that are teenagers that find connections with animals. And to watch Lex be able to get to experience this and to find connections is a really powerful thing that was unexpected.
I'm sorry. I'm just lost in muzzle versus nuzzle.
Oh my God.
Versus everyone sending me their different definitions of it. It's cute.
It's okay.
It's cute. It's okay.
Lex has never ridden the horses. None of our horses. And we're not there. We're nowhere near that. And also in this Texas heat, like, that is something that we typically don't do this time of year.
Yeah, it's not the time of year, guys. It is not the time of year to get horses saddled up and all that, because a lot of stuff you have to do before you saddle is a lot of working them. And, and it's just not the right time of year, not for us or for them.
Yeah. And to be honest, there's a lot of people that do horses all year round.
Yeah.
For us, though, this is the time of year where we spend a lot of time loving, grooming, hosing down, and just interacting. So, and that's normal. It's very normal. And, 100-degree heat is no joke. And we are headed towards that, and we'll stay there until September.
Yeah, I feel like the horses on their own are struggling, trying to find ways to stay cool.
Yeah, there's no need to add extra.
And we're not going to add extra to it. But like Jamie said, there's lots of folks who ride horses year round, and that's fine. We're not judging you, but just understand that we don't have any desire to go out there and put extra weight on their back and move them around. We still work with them enough, and I think we handle them daily. And so we're completely fine with our horses and how much work that they're getting. And
how much work it takes. So, like, that's the other part that people don't realize, that we pick feet, we brush, we spray for flies, we're cleaning up their stalls and their barns, we're scrubbing water troughs, we're feeding, we're medicating. Any of the horses that have feather on their hooves or on their leg, we're treating for mites and for melanders and all kinds of things. Like, there's enough work in the general care that adding the work of cleaning up the saddle and then pre-working the horse and then getting on the horse, like, we're freaking worn out. Like, we're freaking worn out. I find joy in every one of those tasks, every single one of those. But some of those in 100-degree heat get a little bit much, is all we're saying. So we wait till fall to be able to do those things.
And then as far as the feeding goes, I saw that there was it was cute, because on Rick's Live today, the usual people are always looking for Rick to be upset with us. But someone was mad because we're still giving our horses grain, even with them having hay and grass. And Rick goes, wait a minute. Hold on. He goes, I have no problem with them giving them grain, not buckets of grain, but cups of grain. Absolutely. Why not? And so I was just like, thank you, Rick. Thank you for hushing this person up, because it's true. We've talked about it so many times that we have cut back on the grain. And to be honest, Jamie listed all the things that we do with the social part of the horses, and them coming up for a tidbit. I don't even want to call it a cup. I just call it a tidbit, if you know what I mean, a tidbit of a snack grain in their bowl.
But hold on a second. Those grains still do hold extra nutrients that you can't get from some hay and from grass. And for specifically Val and Roman and even Talus, they actually need that extra bit of nutrient that comes in that specific grain. it's not to put weight on them. That's not to do anything. It is more of a tool, as Lester was just about to say, and I interrupted him. It is a tool for us to be able to accomplish what we need to as well. And then Val and Roman both get additional supplements for arthritis and for their age. And then Val also is still being treated for an ulcer in addition to that. So there are multiple reasons, but it is minimal as to what they're eating.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was wonderful that
you felt validated.
I did. Well, here's the thing. I've even said myself, I've even asked you all to let me know. I'm like, if they're getting fat, y'all let me know. Sometimes when you see somebody every single day, you can't really tell if they're losing or gaining weight the same way you can if you've seen them the first time in a month or whatever.
Yeah.
And, we're around the horses all the time. So I'm like, you guys let us know if y'all think that they're getting too fat, if they're losing weight. And I ask that question all the time. I asked just this week, I'm like, is Val losing weight? It's like, cause sometimes they see them at different angles, or she'll kick her leg up, or she'll stand in a certain way. I'm like, is she losing some weight? And you worry.
Val's the one I actually worry about the most.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. And it drives Lester nuts, I think, because I'm like, did you see that? Did she move that? Did she do that? I'm hyper aware after, we've lost 2 horses, and now I want to do what's best for them, but they can't talk. So you're trying to treat them each as an individual amongst what they individually need. And sometimes you're playing a little bit of a guessing game. Heck, I'm playing a guessing game right now with Roman's legs and trying to accommodate and work on his feather and his situation that he's got going on, trying to earn enough trust to be able to give him the same treatment that the others receive so easily, because they're all trained and able to pick up their feet and do all those things. And, you have to play a guessing game, and then you're also at the mercy of his cooperation as well. So they are a lot of work, way more work than Longhorns.
Absolutely. No, I would agree with that. Now, today, it was kind of cute because Ellie asked me a question. This is Ellie's first time to be over there since we met with Ellie. My parents come over one day. When was that? The last time that Ellie was over there. He drove over on his own. Mom and Dad came.
It had to be about a year ago.
No.
It was in the fall.
It was in the fall. So Ellie's not been there in several months. And so Ellie came over, and I'm there with Lex and Ellie, and we're doing all the chores, and look, he's checking out the stalls and the stables and all the stuff. And he just asked, he goes, which property do you think that people enjoy spending time at more? What a hard question, because
it's not really a fair thing.
It's not really a fair question, because if you think about it, we only have the Longhorns and the horses over there, but they're so gosh darn entertaining.
Well,
they are so gosh darn entertaining.
And because you can go live from that entire property, people get a much different experience
than
they do here.
Yes, they do.
A much different experience. So it's an unfair question from that.
I actually said that. I says, well, the thing is, I go live from here a lot more. And the videos from Longhorn Lesters are usually just recorded. So it's a little bit different. People can see things in real time here. And over there, they have to see things a day or two afterwards. So it's interesting though. But if we could go live here, if we were able to go live here, the most entertaining time of the day would be going in with the pigs more so than any other animal. Those pigs come at you like they're starving, Jamie.
That is not the most entertaining part of the day. It is 100% not the most entertaining.
I can guarantee you, if you ask the people that follow the channel, which part of the day would be the most entertaining, it's not going to be walking through your garden. It's not going to be watering your plants. It's not going to be letting the chickens out.
Time out.
Okay.
Maybe for some it is part of that, but so the morning parts that I think are really powerful or are about at sunrise, and the predictability about what's going on and who's doing what. And then I think that the walks to the river used to be amazing.
Well, our trail washed away, okay?
I know.
I have no
But
trail.
I
I
also think
don't
that
want to slide down to the river. No one wants to see me slide down to the river. Who wants to watch me slide my ass down to the river tomorrow? I'll do it, but it's not going to be easy on you or on me, okay? It's not going to be pretty.
calling the littles still iconic. Watching the alpacas because there's been some entertainment out
You
there.
don't want to see me slide down the river.
And then, so of course, anybody would love to watch Carl run your ass all over the place. Super fun. We have kittens. We have dogs. Randomly, we have a snake or two that appears. There's
Hold on. Hey, you comfy? Hey, Stella. Stella! Are you comfy in my chair? I hope you're comfy right there. Go ahead. Both of our chairs have been taken over.
we cook here. We live here and interact here. We get packages here. There's just a lot of diversity here that we can't show in the same way that we show at JL North. And that is why I think it's kind of underrated and unexposed to an extent, because I would love to wake up in the morning and be able to wake up and say, here's the coffee, let's go for a walk, because my morning checks are sometimes some of the most beautiful moments. My late night checks are sometimes some of the most incredible moments. Walking down the driveway to just peek about what's going on both sides. Just there's a lot that happens here that I would love to have signal for, but also would love to have time for.
Okay,
I'm stuck literally lately 14 hours a day on the computer.
Yeah, dirty.
At least. So there's just a lot here that
can we just say this over here? Can we just say this? This property is a peaceful place, and the other property is anything but. A lot of chaos. Lots and lots of chaos.
I think there's peace over there too.
Oh, there's not much peace over there. There's not much peace over there. As a matter of fact, today on Ellie's video, while he's live, I get off to open the gate. I tell Lex to drive through. Lex is not fast enough. He's real easy on the throttle. He doesn't want to give it some gas.
Unless it's a lawnmower.
That's true. Anyway, so while I'm waiting for Lex to drive through, Ruby's coming through. So my Spanky stick does nothing for her. She could care less about my Spanky stick. I have my yellow flag and I'm like whipping it in her face. Like, woo, woo, woo. And she doesn't care. She walks right through it. And my Spanky stick is telescopic. So I have it fully extended. Yet put your finger over here. She walks right into it. And she literally pushes the entire Spanky stick to where it's like this big. And so I just drop it. And then I grab both of her horns. And I'm trying to hold her horns, and she's doing this. And I'm like, Lex, go! And Lex is like, beam, 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 like inching through. I'm trying to hold her with all I got. I couldn't hold her out.
Yeah, there's way more peace here.
And LA's like, just like, Dad's, he's like, you okay, Dad? And this is a live video, and I'm wearing Crocs.
You know, that's not the property, right?
Huh?
The property's not chaos.
The property's not chaos. Well, Ruby's a part of the property. And it was
or maybe it's a guy named Lester who brings the chaos.
What I'm saying is, though,
funner and gooder.
It was funner and gooder. And happy Father's Day to me, having to fight a Longhorn wearing Crocs. And I'm wearing my Crocs, and my Spanky stick just got telescoped right back into my face. And so it was a little chaotic.
Wait, were they some of your new Crocs? Did you get?
No, they were the brand new ones.
Did you get them muddy?
Well, not really, because I was on my tiptoes. And so only the tiptoe part.
You twinkle toed in a live video wrestling Ruby the Longhorn in fuzzy white brand new Crocs in the pasture.
I had no intentions of getting off the side-by-side. No one knew Ruby was going to do what she was going to do. Anyway, all is fine.
This
Ruby's
is why
fine.
women live longer.
This is why the JL Ranch is a little bit more chaotic, and there's a lot more going on over there than what happens here at this peaceful
You
location.
put yourself in some situations, that stuff will happen here.
Yeah.
Lester, we're driving back today to get from groceries, and we're pulling up, and I was like, hey, by the way, you forgot to lock the gate yesterday. And he goes, what gate? You know, the one that Carl plowed through the other day and attacked you at? He was like, oh, that's kind of dangerous. Yeah, it is. That's how chaos happens.
All right. Well, so it's not really you forget to lock it.
No, it's the
Carl
extra,
has broken the
Yeah,
latch.
I was going to say, like, it's the extra thing he had. Lester had
Carl-
to fix it.
Carl hit that latch so hard
Yes.
that it twisted it around. So now you have to not only close it,
It's
but put a
vulnerable.
chain
Yeah.
around it. And I did not put the chain around it, which makes it to where Carl can come right through again if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And so, well, yeah, Carl's something else. Carl's something else. In other news, something kind of interesting. The bird sanctuary. The fella sent Jamie a message. It was a video actually, and they're joking. Have you all seen that viral video from years and years ago? Chawi bit me, Chawi. It's like little British kids, little Brits. I'm gonna find it. Tell them about Charlie biting the dad and knocking him over. Charlie's been an angel for all this time.
Charlie the ostrich has been an angel. Tat has been the bigger, more aggressive one. Charlie has been super sweet, which is why they freely go into the pasture with him. And Charlie was not sweet. And they're driving in the video and they're like, yeah, you bit me, Charlie. You bit me. And I was like, wait, did you just say that Charlie bit you? That's kind of odd. They're like, yeah, that was while he was attacking me and my dad. It was the guy. He was like, me and my dad.
Charlie bit me. Ouch! Ouch, Charlie!
That's some 14 years ago. Who would have known, Jamie? That's is one of
crazy.
the cutest videos of all time. Two little English kids sitting there. One of his name is Charlie, a baby, and the other brother holding him. And he goes, and you can see the older brother like, ow, like wanting to scream. And he's trying to hold his composure. He's like, Charlie bit me, but in that cute little British accent, that really just adorable accent. And then for some reason, the older kid does it again from
He
the
like
other
sticks it
side.
the other side, like, let's try
And
it
Charlie
again.
bites on her, and that little kid goes, ah! And he just screams it out. But no, the goat herder, the ostrich people sent a video to Jamie that Charlie has finally reached the age
He chased him down in the pasture.
where he chased the
And
daddy
attacked
down,
him.
and that dad's my age. But that dad did something that I did not do. That dad actually fell down and hunkered. He hunkered and sat down, and Charlie just stepped on him,
And then this is
just
horrible.
stomped on him.
Okay,
Now those birds are 300 pounds, y'all.
but here's where my
That's a
vision-
300-pound bird stepping on you.
here's where my mind went though. Whenever I like read that part of the message, I was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" So I had to yawn.
Don't, Jamie, don't start yawning
sorry.
already. It's 8:30.
I said, "Are you
Oh.
okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, just a little sore." All I could think about is the way that Cornholio used to step on poor Gloria's back, or the Crocs. You know, the dance, the like
Yeah.
like that. That's probably what happened to the poor guy. And I looked at Lester. I was like, "Don't ever lay down
Yeah,
for Carl."
Charlie danced on his back. No, I told Jamie, I says, you need to let that guy know about the whole neck secret. Grab
Yeah.
him by the neck and pull him down. And you don't want to do that. If you ever get trapped out in the pasture, you're not going to outrun them birds.
No,
And so this bird come up,
you got to turn around
Hit-
and face them, and you got to pull their head next
hit
down.
the dad right in his back, knocked him flat on his, and that dad just hunkered in place, and that bird just danced on him.
We're only allowed to laugh because he's okay. Okay. For the
Yeah,
record.
we're only laughing because he's okay, y'all.
Yeah.
But we think it's funny that Charlie had, because don't forget that Charlie for the longest time was out of all of the males, which is
He was
very,
the most docile.
very, and we didn't even know if he was a male for the longest time. We're
In
like,
fact, his DNA test came back inconclusive the
Yeah.
first time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, no, we finally realized his colors began to change around to where we knew he was a male. And they took Charlie and they put Charlie in the same pasture as Susan.
Yeah.
And they're doing wonderful. They're beautiful birds.
Yeah.
They're just so
They
beautiful.
have something like, I don't know, 75 acres or something crazy. And it is technically their hayfield, but that's where they roam.
That's the whole thing. A lot of people were upset in the picture I showed because it showed that those birds were in a barbed wire pasture. But don't forget that even the place where we rescued Wanda and who's had the bad knee? Tina, guys, even they had barbed wire pastures. It's
they did.
because when they have so much open space,
Yeah.
you
There
don't
was no
worry about
reason.
your birds running up and hitting along your fence. They wouldn't do that. Now, the males would if they're being aggressive towards you.
I've seen some of their other places that they have, and they have almost like a bullpen scenario,
Yeah.
but it's like 10 foot tall. That they special welded, like when they put them up at certain times, and that's not where they stay, but in storms and other things, like they have an enclosure with a roof or whatever, but that's where they graze. That's where they spend a lot of their time is out there.
Yeah.
And they do have a shelter, and they do have a mechanism to put them up, but it's much different than what we've seen anywhere else.
Yeah.
But again, like, there's no rule book on ostriches, okay?
No.
Ostriches are kind of an anomaly, and people that had them, like, probably about 20 years ago, ostriches were really popular to raise in Texas. And people that had them then would just put up wild game fencing. And the wild game fencing had big enough squares that if the ostriches would bump up against each other, their feet would actually get caught and the wires would go through their feet. They were having some issues around that. So but again, like, there's not a rule. It's not like everybody that has cattle, like, this is what you do and everybody knows. Like, it's not like that. And it's dynamically different. So they're safe and they're happy and they're healthy and they're clearly healthy enough to be attacking humans. So, I mean, that's pretty good gauge of their circumstances.
Tina came to us with a bad knee, and Wanda had frostbite on an entire leg.
Yeah.
So, no, Carl did not damage or hurt anybody. We tried to keep Tina away from Carl during breeding season so as not to re-inflame her arthritis.
Yes. Tina had a septic knee and was in pretty bad shape for the first, I don't know, year and a half that we had her. And we feel like we finally got her to a good place with a whole lot of rest. We had to have her knee drained 3 or 4 times. She was on antibiotics. She was on pain meds. And I don't know if you know this, but there's not really an ostrich vet around. So, like, everything is like a guess and a gamble. And hopefully this works. And this is what you would treat it as. And crazy.
Yeah. And then if we do end up seeing the father of the year, which would be, of course, our Carl, if they end up hatching any eggs, we don't know if they will or not. We're going to let them see what happens. We have a wonderful resource in this family who absolutely has already begged for them. So they have a beautiful place to go. But I told Jamie, if we have any females, and what we'll do is get them DNA tested. We'll DNA test them early on. And let's just say this, let's not wait until we have birds as big as Tat running around, and then we end up falling in love with them. So I
don't know why you're trying to coach me on this. I was ready to pack up Carl and his nest and be like, here you go.
Listen, I love them. I love
Tina.
Carl.
I love Tina.
I know you love Tina, and Debbie's wonderful, and Carl's wonderful. And the way Carl looks at us when he's not wanting to kill us is just beautiful. And don't forget all the things that Carl has taught us about ourselves and about a rescue in general.
I know, but still,
No, but we know that Tat was so much bigger than Carl. And so we knew Tat was a male from early on. Don't forget, we had them DNA tested for gender tested early on. So we knew what we had. It's just that we're so cute when they were little, and them running around dancing and like just watching them grow was just so darn fun. And it wasn't until Tat, 2.5, 3 years old, when the mean began to come out.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is just well before that time, go ahead and decide what we are going to do, or we know what we'll do. Just go ahead and let that happen much, much, much sooner.
Where they don't require a horse trailer.
Yeah, where you can do it in the back of your truck, or, not in a horse trailer. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So, no, I would not want to put that wrangling on anybody. I've done it, and I think I'm pretty good at it. Loaded Charlie, loaded Tat, loaded Wanda, loaded multiple times in all of the different moves.
Yeah.
I've loaded them all, and I'm actually really good at it. I'm not bragging, but I've never had to deal with an injury because I do it using the neck. And I will say this, if you remember the video where the other guy loaded Carl and how horrible of a job he did.
Well, he didn't know.
He didn't know. He hooked him. He had like a shepherd's hook.
Yeah.
Like a long rebar. It was a piece of rebar
that he
bent himself. He heated it and he bent that rebar. And so once he got close enough to Carl, now this is years ago. He reached over and hooked Carl's neck, and he used and pushed that rebar down. And then and he never got close to Carl. He used that rebar as a snare, and he used it to push Carl into the trailer and all through that stuff.
And then we went to go get the girls, and they were ostrich people.
Oh yeah.
They were like, no, you cut off a sleeve and you put it over their heads.
They taught us so
you just
much.
Go in and the world is so much better and different, and they can't see, so they just do what you say. They have to trust you, and they just do it.
And so what we've taken from that is a pillowcase, a simple pillowcase. And so once we get Tat or Charlie or any of the birds to come to the fence to eat a snack or whatever, I simply get my hand on their neck, and then my helper puts a pillowcase over their head. And at that point, they're like putty in your hands. The only hard part is
300-pound putty.
300 pounds of putty in your hands. Yeah. And the only scary part is trying to get them to step up into the trailer. That was the hard part, is letting them know that, hey, you've walked with me. I'm so proud of you, but now you got to take a step up into the trailer. And, but you know what? We've done it so many times. And a shepherd's crook. I don't know what it's called. I call it a hook. I do think that everyone gets it.
Somebody sent you one after that, if you remember, and I don't know whatever happened to that.
Well, it was made of wood and it wasn't treated, and it was a beautiful and wonderful gift, but it did eventually break.
That was a neat thing.
It was. Yeah. I miss Wanda too. I would say of all of the birds, you know what? I really loved Gloria, that little fat turkey.
I loved her.
Gloria was a really sweet little girl. I love me some Gloria, and losing her was hard. And then Janky Jan. As weird as this sounds, I loved Janky Jan. Yeah. Most people don't even know who Janky Jan is.
Janky Jan was special.
Janky Jan was a little turkey rescue that had a big old hole in her side. Was that from a dog bite or like a tumor or something?
It was a dog bite that turned into a tumor.
It was horrible, but we thought that she was for sure going to die because you could like see right into her inners. And the vets couldn't do anything with her. I mean, she's got turkey. She's going to die. She's just going to die. But we're like, well,
we treated her.
She's eating
and treated her some more.
Here's the thing. She's eating and drinking. And while she drinks, things are not spilling out. So I knew she wasn't in that bad a shape. And so she was eating fine. But for a funny story.
She healed.
Oh, yeah. But here's the funniest story. And there are people on here tonight who have no idea about this. But Janky Jan, who we thought might fall in love with the wonderful and very handsome Cornholio. No, she didn't fall in love with Cornholio. She fell in love with Carl, the ostrich. And so here was the funniest thing. This might have been the funniest fiasco that we ever recorded. There was a love triangle. Guys, there was a love triangle. And it was the most obvious love triangle and the saddest of all, because you had big old Carl who'd come strutting across the pasture. Now, at this point, there were no lady ostriches. It was just Carl. He was in charge of all the littles, and he'd just come strutting across like there, and he knew he was the man. And he was. In fact, he was the man, y'all. He was the man. And all of a sudden, Janky Jan would see Carl. And you know how, like in the cartoons, all those little hearts start coming out of her eyes? So all of a sudden, she'd look at Carl, and all these little hearts would start floating around. And then she'd start running over
Oh,
to
no,
Carl.
no, that's not how she ran. That's not how she ran.
Oh, you're going to show us how she ran?
Janky Jan was like this, like
Yeah.
dragging
Well,
her
she's
leg.
janky.
Yeah, it
She
was
was-
bad.
she
It
was-
was so bad.
She was like Quasimodo, but even worse. So she was like,
Bad.
so Janky Jan began to hobble. Can I do this without hurting anybody's feelings? So
Listen,
Janky Jan began to hobble towards
It
Carl.
was real.
Hey, you be Carl and I'll be
I will
Janky
not.
Jan.
I will not.
You're Carl. There's
I'm
no
not.
shame in being Carl.
I'm not.
Fine. I'll be Carl. You be Janky Jan.
No, but the point is,
But people want to see this.
we
People,
will find the video. Miss
Pe-
Teresa will help us find the
who
video.
wants to watch us reenact Carl and Janky Jan? Raise your hand. I will be Janky Jan because I have no shame. I don't care. Okay, it's enough. All right. You're going to simply walk around with grace and tact around this living room a few times, and I will be Janky Jan,
I will
okay?
not right now.
Okay, you will.
I won't.
Yes, you will.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Jamie, you're making this very boring. All right, so I'm Janky Jan coming out of the barn, and I see you. Here comes all the little love bubbles. Love, love, love.
Carl would be like,
Walk away. Walk away.
Carl would run. Carl would run
Carl-
in that moment.
Carl would see her, like, oh, and he would run.
He was terrified.
He'd take off running, and then Janky Jan would run behind him.
She was like, "Don't run from your feelings."
And then Cornholio,
Oh, poor Cornholio. Poor Cornholio.
he'd go off and he'd be chasing her, and we would have an ostrich,
Oh, we had a horrible love triangle.
a Janky Jan, a turkey, and then a Cornholio.
Who's also just like, why won't she love me?
Yeah, and like, why won't people are saying, please run, Jamie? Just run for me.
I don't want to right
Oh,
now.
Jamie.
There's dogs in my way and I don't want to trip and fall.
You don't want to break a hip?
Yeah.
Well, we will say this. There's plenty of videos of that love triangle.
There's so many. Because
Sorry.
it was like never ending. And it was so sad.
I'm not going to show you all right here. And I might if I can find it fast enough. If you can talk long enough to let me see if I can find anything about this love
So
triangle.
Janky Jan also had a sister, and it was Marsha and Jan. Okay, and Marsha was the pretty one, and that was the joke of like it was Marsha, because at first Cornholio was like, "Hey, ladies, hey," and Marsha straight up told Cornholio to go fly a kite. So then he was like, "All right, I'll settle for Janky Jan," and he and Janky Jan.
Hold on. Okay, here's just a picture. I'm just going to send the picture.
Janky Jan was like his settling point, and then he kind of started to like Janky Jan, and Janky Jan and he would like eat together. They would sleep in the same spot. It was crazy, okay? And then comes Carl, and Janky Jan looked at Carl like Carl stepped straight out of freaking Magic Mike's, okay? Like straight up everything about Carl was everything that Janky Jan thought that she deserved and wanted. And she didn't see any difference in the two of them. And then she would look at Cornholio and be like, no, absolutely not. It was wild and it was crazy to watch because these are birds of different species.
Yeah, they were.
And it was just a love triangle. And poor Janky Jan did not make it. But 6 months after that, maybe.
I don't know.
But
So here's one image. This was just one example. Guys,
this is legit.
now that was from 2021. Most of you guys were not here then, okay? Most of you guys were not even around in 2021. But September the 12th, 2021, the title of the video, If You Don't Love Me By Now. No, If You Don't Love Me. Okay, If You Don't Love Me. And it shows Carl on the run It shows Janky Jan and it shows Cornholio chasing her. Okay.
That's legit.
That is one of the videos right there if you ever want to look it up. And then another one that I have. Oh, Lordy. Here it is. This video over here was called A Barnyard Love Triangle. It was September the 15th of 2021. And it kind of shows a little bit of the same thing, except it shows Carl on one of the arrows. It shows Janky Jan, and then it shows Cornholio. But we had us a love triangle. And I'll tell you what, talk about fun and sad videos, Jamie.
It is sad.
Oh my gosh, we love them. Those are some good old days, y'all. But that was something else, Jamie. That was funny.
Oh, those moments are things that people would just like not believe, unless they saw it. Because when you're there, sometimes you're like questioning if that's really what's happening. But it went on and on and on. And Carl, here, an 8-foot bird who's terrified of a janky little turkey who has like half of her body like gone, completely gone, all sunken in. And yeah, I miss them. I do. I miss turkeys. Turkeys have this most amazing personality ever. Baby, what are you doing?
Just keep talking.
No, we're almost done with this live. We're an hour in already.
Oh, I wanted to show them a snippet. Fine.
Oh,
Keep
boy.
going.
You can play it tomorrow morning. How about that?
Fine.
You won't. Anyway.
I'll stop my recording. I was going to screen record it and play it, but we're out of time. It was beautiful. And for anyone who has never had a chance to see that, all you're going to do is go back. Well, Teresa's going to actually show you guys some of the links right there in the comments. Thank you for Teresa for doing that. But this was stop it. It was really, really, really cute moments. But tell you what, we've had some fun with them. That was fun. But we were talking about birds that we've loved. And I was telling you some of the ones that I've loved the most and who we've lost. Gloria, Janky Jan, obviously Cornholio was the most recent of the losses. But think about that. Cornholio had been around for so gosh darn long.
He did.
Now, did I get Cornholio for you on your second birthday with me or your third birthday?
Third. It was Annie, Bucky's, and then Cornholio.
Annie's, Bucky's, then Cornholio. And
Yeah.
if you guys don't know this, what I used to do for Jamie on her birthday was I would get her a rescue animal because I thought that was a gift that would keep on giving. And
they have.
what year was Carl?
Wasn't
The
my
fourth?
birthday.
Yes, it was.
It was not my birthday.
Yes, it was.
I know it wasn't my birthday because I came home from
Out of town,
Out
and
of
I had a
town.
surprise for you.
It was not for me. That was for you. You cannot pass off Carl as a birthday gift.
I got him for your birthday.
You tried to do that with Lola as well.
Lola was also a birthday present. It was
was like in June, maybe May.
Sometimes a birthday gift may be a
And
little
Carl was in
early.
August. It was a good try though.
Anywho's. Well, I know that we had Carl in 2021 and we had Cornholio was right there in 2021.
Cornholio was not in 2021. Cornholio came
The
in.
picture shows Cornholio right there. So he was here.
He was there, but he came already in 2019.
Oh, no. I'm saying that I knew we already had Cornholio
Oh.
and Carl well before 2021. So I'm trying to think to myself, how old was Cornholio when we lost him? Because we lost him this year.
And he was already an adult.
And he
though.
was already an adult, and he was also a survivor of a dog attack, y'all. So
I think that Cornholio had to be probably somewhere 8-ish because
Yeah.
he already had a beard when he came to us. And
he sure
that
did.
means that they're older already and mature. So like I think that Cornholio was somewhere 8 to 10-ish.
I don't know how old turkeys live, but Cornholio
Not
had a
that
good
long.
life. Well, he had a good life.
Yeah.
And Nate is still around.
Yeah.
Nate's one that Jamie's always loved.
Adam or Steve.
Adam or Steve is still
We
around.
miss Pablo. Greatly.
We do miss Pablo. Pablo was just an amazing duck.
We had
Uh.
another duck. We had actually 2 Muscovy ducks that somebody sent as babies to us, and we named them Peep and Tom. And I ended up giving CPR to one of them. We lost that. I don't actually know whatever happened to Tom because Muscovies tend to travel and leave eventually. I also had Thelma and Louise. Those were what we gifted Adam or Steve at one point in time. Somebody gifted us them. And eventually one of them took off and then the other one something happened to. Goldie was a favorite chicken.
We've had some really good. Grey Goose is still around though. Grey Goose is still around. Al Davis.
Yeah.
Now we gave Al Davis. Al Davis didn't die. Thank you,
Yeah.
Teresa, for reminding us. Al Davis, the guy who came to survey the land, was trying to start himself. He had a small farm, but he didn't have any turkeys. And I says, listen, I got one that I'll give you, a couple of females and Al. And here's the problem. I had to because Cornholio was beating up Al Davis.
Yeah.
Al Davis, if you don't remember, and this is, oh my gosh, let me find the picture. You just keep on talking again. Don't get bored of talking. Just talk to these folks. I mean, just talk
So
to these
then there
folks.
was Jack and Diane, and Jack is still exists, and we got those from Cog Hill.
Yes.
And poor Diane, oh, that was so sad. She had made a nest underneath the wheel of the trailer, and Jake went to borrow the trailer, and sadly, that was the end of her life. And Jack was so sad. And I know Ellie and Megan got an additional peacock, but I don't think there's any female peacocks on the hill today. I think Jack tries to impress emus and other things at this time, but we've had a lot of feathers actually.
You want to know something that I just now discovered?
What?
Well, it ain't no video. I'm going to focus on it right now. But so there was actually 3 videos about Al Davis. Let me send those over here to my computer.
You used to go live with him on your shoulder
I did all the time. I would go live with Al Davis
at
on
the
my
kitchen
shoulder.
counter.
Yeah, he would come inside the house with me, and I love him, y'all. Don't forget, when you love one of them, you do things you don't do with everybody because you just have this little special place for them. Let me find the Al Davis picture here. These are the 3 videos with Al Davis. There's one of them's called Al Davis, and it shows him eating out of my mouth. That seemed to have grossed a lot of people out.
It was so gross. It makes me gag right now.
No one liked seeing that.
No, it makes me gag right now.
And then Al Davis needs help. He would sit on my shoulder. All of these are inside the house, y'all. All of these are in the house. I was like learning falconry, except it wasn't a falcon. It was a kind of a.
He was a turkey who had a cross beak.
He was quite deformed because not only did he have a cross beak, but he also.
His face was sort of like, I don't know how to say that, like that. Yeah.
He's like that, shorter.
Sure.
So I called him Al Davis because he reminds me of the old Raiders owner from the LA Raiders. So we named him Al Davis, and he was so wonderful. But he also he was beautiful. We loved him. He was so fun. But if you want to see any of those videos, there's so many great stories of birds. We've always loved birds. And so for a lot of people who are sitting here with being so upset about Carl and sitting on babies and all of the things that Carl's doing, I think if you think about it enough, Carl is exemplifying everything that a man, a father should be. Just hear me out for a moment. He's number one, he's helping the mamas. Yes or no? He is taking a very active role in trying to help mamas. Now, we have eggs from both Tina and Debbie. Both of the ladies have formed themselves a communal nest, and Carl is doing everything in his power to take care of these ladies and help them with the birth of these babies, through the hatching of these babies. Yes or no? So, ladies, if you've ever had a husband who also gave you that kind of love and support, then you have yourself a Carl. But most of you ladies are going to admit real fast that, no, when I was pregnant, my husband was in bed sleeping while I'm having labor pains, and I couldn't get my old man off his ass to bring me a diaper, and I couldn't get my old man to. So Carl, on one hand, exemplifies everything that good dad should do. Now, that's not all. Once these babies hatch, Carl will also be the grand protector. Yes or no?
That's true.
He is going to be there and support and protect and love them babies. And how many men do you know today that they don't have the time of day for them kids, not until they're old enough to bring them a beer or whatever? And you see that all the time. As a school teacher, I can't tell you how many kids that came through our classes who had no father figure. All right. So Carl is going to be a father figure. He's going to protect and love those babies. He's going to teach them all of the ways of the world. So for everyone who's hating on Carl, be real careful now. Be real careful who you're hating on, because he's actually someone that can teach a lot of men how to be a real dad. All right. How to be a real father. Just saying. And it is Father's Day. So there. Go ahead and try to rebut that one, Jamie. Go ahead. Where's your rebuttal?
I got nothing on that.
Oh,
I'm
looks
just,
like 1 point for Lester.
I'm just here.
We never loved Rocky.
Some people say that Jack is gone, that your dad said Jack is gone.
Wait, I hear him all the time.
I don't know. Maybe he's just gone from your dad's house then.
Well, I don't know, but no, I don't watch every video off of Morrow Hill. But I'll tell you what, you can be watching a video and you can hear somebody.
Yeah.
Because the entire hill can hear that darn bird. So if he is gone, now it's not unusual for the females to be gone, because they'll go lay on eggs.
Yeah.
They'll go off and hide somewhere and lay on eggs for however long they lay on them. But I did not know that Jack was not showing up.
I didn't either.
He was very visible around there. But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me, guys. If you knew about the situation there, then you would understand why. Dogs running up and down the streets, and they're not always stray dogs. They're just
Those
dogs who
came and killed your dad's baby goats
Yeah.
recently. Like went in his backyard and did it. So like, I don't know if Jack is really gone or not. And
Jack is still there. They're saying, all right, guys, don't just put out those rumors. Everyone is saying that Jack is still there, that they watch him in Papa's videos. So maybe my dad didn't see him for a day or for two. But everyone's saying that Jack is still around. So let's not even worry about that. But dogs, there are plenty. Stray dogs and good dogs that are nicely fed, but owners don't have yards for their dogs. They just assume that their dogs will be there when they get home.
it's a horrible, horrible situation out there. And we tried our best to help. And what we did didn't even make a dent in it. And there's so many rescues around here that it's a horrible situation that is actually talked about nationwide in the rescue network, that of what happens right there in Plum Grove, Texas.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yep. I'll tell you what, we could make an entire documentary on the
dogs.
travesties. Well, no, I was just saying all of the issues that are happening in the little town of Plum Grove, Texas.
Yeah.
Which I am so happy that we are not there anymore. I go by once a week to visit and check on everybody and give my mom a hug. All right.
Ever that one time you didn't.
That one time I didn't hear the end of it.
I know. You
I
better
did not
never
hear
do it
the end
again.
of it. I'll be going by there tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Okay.
Drop off Kippy.
Yeah, guys, you go drop off old Kippers. No, I think that mom and dad and everybody went to Tina and Rob's today for their Father's Day. We had our Father's Day over here. I did talk to my dad, and I'm so happy that we were able to do a telethon sort of and get my dad over the 50K mark on his subscribers on his channel. And so that was a lot of fun to have everybody jump over and subscribe to my dad. And like I said, Papa's channel is not for everybody, guys. It's not. But if you're the kind of person who likes to wake up early and grab a cup of coffee and see a man my dad's age drive around and talk about old times, and then you know what, by all means, jump on there. And but you better come back and watch us when you're done. You better come back and watch us when you're done, y'all. Just saying. Now, find your happy place, friends. Find your happy place. Absolutely. My dad does go live on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:00 a.m. And he usually posts a video almost every day. Oh, it's early though, at 5 a.m. So
I have a big video coming out tomorrow. I'm just saying I had a little bit of an accident that I need to share. So
An accident.
it was an accident. It was an.
What did you call the video? You haven't named it yet?
I did. I think I called it. It was an accident.
Oh, you didn't say
My
I lied
internet's
to my
off.
husband?
No.
You
No.
did not call it I lied to Lester.
No, I didn't.
Now you're calling it an accident.
It was an accident.
Are we talking about the same video? Are
Maybe not.
we talking about your office? Then I think
Why do you got a loose lips Lester it?
you might want to rename that the right name. It's okay. I can't wait to see it, Jamie. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to watch it. Okay. Well, listen, thank you all for watching tonight. We are very blessed to have you. Jamie, do your normal wrap up. How you do all those wonderful, sweet things, please.
Y'all, thanks so much for giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time, for taking the time to not only spend with watching our videos, but to hang out with us while we go live and putting up with all of the things. We are so grateful that you choose us, and we hope that you stay safe.
We
stay
don't
well.
deserve y'all. We do not deserve y'all. You know that we don't deserve you. We don't.
It's true. We hope you stay safe, that you stay well, that you take care of yourselves, and you take care of those that are around you as well. We hope you have a great week, and we will catch you on the next video.
Now, everybody grab your tissue and let's all find our favorite babies. All right. Y'all ready? Here we go. Let's watch it together, Jamie. Let's watch it together with them.
Down in Texas where the sun runs high, there's a place where hearts and spirits fly. I'm a survivor stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves, a pasture of hope where kindness curves. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. Each soul that walks through those gates of grace finds a home, a heart, a safe new space. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. We're all survivors of some